Hello everybody, welcome back to Language Litigation Integration Part 177. Who wants dim sum? Who wants dim sum dance halls? Who wants dim sum gardening stores? Scott back from California. I'm your host, my name is Bradley Bowes. My primary goal for this lecture series is to bring awareness to ongoing criminal activity. My constitutional rights are violated pursuant to Article 1, Section 8, Subsection 7, as well as the Fifth Amendment. I have rights to my writings and my discoveries, as well as I have rights to compensation for private property being distributed for public use. But are there any laws in the United States? Nope. We just blow up our own buildings and kill our own citizens and say, well, have a nice day. Go enjoy your day. Have a nice day. Okay, I can't. But again, we'll do current events and talking points, relevant and random stories. I really don't think any stories today. Again, I'm on pretty much no contact with anyone, basically with anybody, until I'm allowed to be a human being that's treated with decency and respect, which is never. I live in a society with the maturity level of 14-year-old children, and they're privileged, they're horny, and they're pathetic as fuck. And there was just no way to get out of that disgusting world. And they're killing children. To the people of the future and the people today, you are killing children. Piss on their graves, kick them the fuck out of society. Every major business owner, every politician, every news anchor. Liz McGiffin, the weather lady at NBC4 for I, kick her the fuck out of society. Yolanda Harris, on your side, kick her the fuck out of society. Dave Mazza, kick him the fuck out of society. Those are the ones I know. Cynthia Hill, kick her the fuck out of society. All of the law enforcement are going to prison until they're dead. And everybody else is killing children, so they should face capital punishment. But will we ever behave? No. Will we ever change our behavior? No. Will we ever simply enforce the law? Absolutely not. So if you guys enjoy your free shit as you've destroyed my entire life. Pretty fun stuff. So, the dim sum. We had some good stuff. We had, what was the first one? The first one was 10 killed and 10 injured in a mass shooting at Monterey, California for the Chinese Lunar New Year celebration. It was a 72-year-old. So he murks 10 dudes. I think it was 11. I think one of the injured died. 9 other injured. And they went up to, I just have here as it was coming out, incident avoided in Alhambra, may have been connected. Turns out it was the same guy. So, I gotta be honest, it's gotta be a funny visual, because I watched the video of the guy taking down a gun. The guy wrestling out the gun from the Alhambra location. Out of all the mass shooters, seeing a 72-year-old tote a strap, and people are like, oh, let's run away, not to take the gun from him. That's mind-boggling to me. And again, if you were in I've never been in a mass shooting situation, but again, it would be situational. Again, you're going to want to protect yourself, run away. It's obviously your first goal. But again, if you're in a supermarket, someone starts popping shit off, and you look over and it's a 72-year-old and you're behind him, maybe that's the dude that you charge at. So again, just a really situational awareness. But now we have the old Asian demographic. Typically, it's the white males. Honestly, again, age is just a number. So whether they mature between the ages of 18, when most of them are pretty young, but then you also have the Las Vegas one who's like 50 to 60, because they never grow up, just like every baby boomer I've ever met, including my parents. And then now we have, again, age is just a number, and the human race is the only species that we know. Well, I mean, not know of, but we are humans. So again, whether you're Asian or white doesn't really make a difference, and we're pink, not white. But yeah, 72-year-old. And so I think for that one, I think that was at dance halls. And I think some rumor, not sure if the motive was, again, maybe his lover or his wife or something, was busting out some Chinese moves on some orange chicken dick, and he was not having it. But that was a 72-year-old toting a strap. That may be a scenario when you charge after the guy. And the video just looked like when he went to the Alhambra location, the dude was the younger Asian dude that wrestled the gun from him was just there. Was like, well, fuck, wrong place, wrong time. Might as well do something. So good on him. But I don't know the situation of like the environment, like the actual room or building, just how the slaughtering at the dance studio in Monterey. I can't imagine seeing a 72-year-old with a gun and somebody not trying to jump in. But that was good. Another productive member of our society, and then he shot himself in the head like the coward that he fucking is. Good riddance. Glad you're dead. Then Chun Li Zhao, 67 male, from a nice Half Moon Bay resident. Kills 7 people at 2 landscaping nurseries. No, they said no motive, but it says an employee of the place, almost certainly a disgruntled employee, so that's my conjecture for the motive. But again, it's always insecurity. It's always selfishness reverting back to primitive behavior. That is always the motive. It doesn't matter what the trigger is. Eighth victim is in critical condition at Stanford Medical Center. So that was the older Chinese, or at least Asian demographic. Not exactly sure. Zhao seems Chinese. I don't have the other guy's written name down. But all hatred is self-hatred. Whether you take that out against a group that you project onto, like someone saying I hate Jews or I hate blacks, or you turn it on your own people and say this is, again, we're all individuals. There's no real our binding awareness is sentiment, not even really the human species. Vibration's universal, but. If we get kind of sad, kind of mad, we're just going to murk everybody, kind of shoot up the... So you got to watch out if you're going to buy some new dandelions for some new perennials for next year. Watch out. Where'd that one go? Chun Li Zhao might pull up strapped up, or, again, I don't have the other guys written down, but can't be going into the dance studios. Can't be definitely not celebrating. No celebrations and dancing. Might get murked by a 72-year-old. So, who wants dim sum? Who wants dim sum? Some dead Asians. Not me, but a lot of people just keep shooting everybody. So it's like, oh fuck, might as well make fun of it. But are you allowed to have personalities around immature people? No. They know how to play games and come. They were happy or they're sad. There's no nuance to their existence. Right? Whenever Brad says, "Pay me my money," well then we have to project onto him and say he's sad or mad or threatening. Just like, my God, I am the victim of a crime and I am blamed for that crime every single day. It's torture and nobody gives a shit. Alec Baldwin will be charged with involuntary manslaughter in Rust killing. 64-year-old male. The production set to resume. The armorer also charged. Plea, I'm not sure. Again, this was several days ago, so I imagine he's been arraigned by now, but I just don't have the plea written down. Again, as an individual, I would always check the gun. But I charge the actor... I would charge the armorer more, or whoever's responsible for checking the weapons and stuff like that. I've never been on a production set of a movie. I don't know how. There's a lot of moving parts. So whoever's tasked to make sure there's no live ammunition in this gun, that person will be charged more than the actor. Still, as an individual, I'll obviously check the gun myself. Would I charge the actor? Maybe with negligence, involuntary manslaughter. Again, I don't know what the penalty is on that, but. Probably, I'd say involuntary manslaughter, more so for the armorer, whoever's directly tasked for checking the gun. On principle alone, check the gun every time you handle a weapon. But, again, gross negligence. Everyone's just negligent about fucking everything. And then it's not my problem, not my problem, not my problem. We create problems so we can create industries, law. We don't understand the law, common law as individual citizens, so we have to have lawyers. And then we just have corporations bitch about who gets $10 million, $20 million, and $100 million settlements. It's games. It's playing games in the context of careers and money. And I just want to play. I just want to get into the game. I just want to be able to make my own money, distribute my property, and start a business. I have 15 businesses ready to go today if people would stop committing criminal activity. And on top of that, I have my own parents starting to commit crimes against me because they want to honor a business deal, because they want to treat me like a professional adult. This is my life is as degrading as you could ever fucking get, and there is no fucking way out. Wait, yeah, there is. It's $30K a year. $30K a year of my own independent income, and all I do is work all day. But nobody gives a fucking shit. So I don't give a fuck about Alec Baldwin. Just go live your privileged fucking life, you old man. Die the fuck off. Davos 2023 is underway in Switzerland. What the fuck is Davos? So I looked that up. It's like, I really didn't know what it was, but it's like the leaders of the world gather for economics, politics, policy. You guys are killing kids. Publish my fucking paper or you're directly killing kids. We can do basically whatever we want. Well, you kill kids. You'll be remembered as child killers. To every cartel member, every real mafia member, to every real gang member, every real street dude. When you see like somebody win the national championship and the streets are just flooded with fucking people. I want every real criminal on this fucking planet to know your politicians, your academics, your business owners are killing fucking children. Well, never incite violence. So I'm just letting you know they are killing fucking children willfully, directly, confidently, and arrogantly. And so again, in general, child killers should face capital punishment. They should. But we're gonna go to Davos. We're all gonna fly in our fancy fucking jets and talk about the progress of the human species, and you guys are the ones retarding it. You guys are the ones slowing it the fuck down. To retard is to mitigate, to slow to lessen. But yeah, the world leaders of nothing are playing games in Davos 2023. So I saw like Will.i.am. Yeah, world leader, Will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas. You fucking stupid monkey. Oh, your music is fucking trash, brother. Trash, just like your fucking life. I mentioned your name in this series, you die in history as a profound fucking coward. So Will.i.am from Black Eyed Peas, I'm glad you're enjoying your privileged ass handout fucking silver platter life. Enjoy Davos 2023 with all your world leaders. Olivia Dunn making 7 figures for name, image, and likeness because she's an attractive gymnast. Well, don't steal from me, you dumb bitch. An LSU chick, gymnast, again, attractive young female, obviously, again, just a bunch of old dudes jerking off, or young dudes just jerking off to her Instagram picture, you're obviously gonna like it. So when people say feminism, it's just like, I would absolutely love to show off my body I would do anything to make 30 grand a year. Fucking anything. I'm in good shape. I'm a male, I'm in good shape. Not a chance. I can start an OnlyFans, crank off once a day on the internet, and we'll have like some old perv watch me. But I still wouldn't make 30K. I would do anything to make my own fucking money. Anything. But again, in this series, I was the one that absolutely said you should pay people for what they've earned, including college people, because the universities are just as the most prolific fraudulent institution that has ever occurred in the human species. The state, again, and I looked up accreditation. There's no standard national accreditation process. It is literally just have enough money. Like Jordan Peterson starting at an academy. He's a science denier. He's a fucking idiot. Psychologist is not a fucking scientific profession. You just have to be popular. The only thing that matters in life is to be fucking popular. Play games and come. Win the game of being popular, but you can't. Because if you offend a pathetic person, they're going to kick you out of society. And that's what's happened to every group of people I've ever been exposed to. So they won't let you play the game. And they run around killing kids and having fun at Davos 2023. But in this series, I only should tell you, absolutely should legalize name, image, and likeness. Then they legalized it. Now all these universities who are absolutely stealing from me are paying their students while I still can't pay my fucking bills, and I get denigrated to the point where my parents think I should go to a fucking insane asylum, and my parents should be in prison. My parents should go to jail for child abuse. They really fucking should. But I am blame the victim, and I do not have access to court or law enforcement, so I will continue to be tortured. So Olivia Dunn, the instant you get your fucking degree of committed fraud, and you're benefiting from a school that is stealing from you, I'm going to sue you, Olivia Dunn. So I'm glad you're making 7 figures. Now make 11 figures. That's what the fuck I'm going to sue you for, you dumb fucking bitch. You think an attractive female's going to stop me? A piece of pussy's going to stop me from throwing your fucking life in the fucking ground? You got something else coming. So congratulations, Olivia Dunn. Glad you're making money off name, image, and likeness just because you're a fucking attractive female, you dumb bitch. The instant you get a piece of paper from a state that is stealing from me, I am personally going to come and fuck your life. So enjoy your popularity while it lasts, you dumb bitch. 1.2 million French hit the streets to protest the retirement age being raised from 62 to 64. How do you get a job? How the fuck do you start a business that fucking works? Credentials? Again, I'm completely kicked out of any credentials. All my credentials are fraudulently stolen. I've been lecturing for hundreds and hundreds of hours now with PhDs in every meaningful scientific research thing ever. Musical production. If you get a PhD in musical performance, you just perform music. I have 12 albums out. My God. But I don't have this magical piece of paper from a fraudulent fucking state that says that I can do stuff. I can clearly do stuff. And the only way to get a job is to network and have credentials. And I can't. So when my mom tells me to get a job, I applied to jobs, ones that I'm completely qualified for, and I hear nothing back. I'm still in that world where I try to get a job for the past 10 years of my life, and the answer is I'm a scapegoat. I am not allowed to enter society. Eric Weinstein laughing on Lex Friedman's podcast, we'll go to jail if we acknowledge Brad. I can't pay my bills. For the people of this future, they are killing children and stealing my property. They are child killers. They should face capital punishment. All of them. But the French, again, how do you get a fucking job? How the fuck do you have enough dignity and integrity to have an identity and just like have a way to feel safe in society? Again, when I'm talking Social Security, right, I literally have 5 to 6 years of cash on hand right now. I had 650 grand in the bank before I bought this house. Please, I am begging to give me a time frame in which you will stop violating my constitutional rights and slaughtering children. I don't give a fuck about the dead kids. How the fuck do I get my money and away from your dirty, nasty fucking kids who banned me from buying Stromboli for just my voice being too resonant and then they don't say anything to me and then just denigrate me? Your kids are fat, disgusting fucking losers. Dumb fucking whores, it's all they'll ever fucking be. So French, be thankful that you're privileged enough to be able to get a job. I would do anything for 30 grand a year, and I'm the most qualified intellectual that has ever existed. An intellectual to me is not writing quick questions on the board, it is a doing thing. CoffeeZilla and Logan Paul drama over crypto zoo and defamation. Rather interesting. I watched CoffeeZilla's breakdown, and I watched Logan Paul's reversal saying he was going to sue CoffeeZilla for defamation. I haven't followed it super closely, don't really give a shit. Again, I want Logan Paul the fuck out of society. I want CoffeeZilla the fuck out of society. I want to buy Google and shut YouTube down. Fuck that shit. You guys kick me out of society. Live your lives while you fucking can. Fuck you, Logan Paul. 2022 is the best year of your life. Fuck you, fuck your brother, fuck your mother, and fuck your father. Coming for your lives. Fuck you. Now, it's not a threat. I'm going to make sure you are ostracized as much as me. Fuck your fucking lives. But in terms of the actual legality of it, I like the video of defamation of Logan calling CoffeeZilla defamatory, but I just need to know the facts. If it's an actual scam, then I would absolutely sue CryptoZoo. If it was an actual project that just hasn't launched yet or behind development or something, then I would actually sue for defamation. So, don't really know, but you can't, again, there's no laws. Like I said, I can't sit here with a direct citation of law and be like, yeah, there's laws out there. And watching everybody on the news stations try to talk about the Constitution and everyone's just fucking lying. I'm getting denigrated every 2 days. Every 2 days. To the people I haven't talked to in 5 to 10 years, my life is absolutely worse. And again, I'm not sad. Stop calling. I'm not a pathetic child like you guys. I just need my money. As I've documented for 4, 5, 6 years publicly now. My entire life has been like this. Columbus, Ohio magazine restriction going into effect midnight, January 21st, after judge rules against the state's lawsuit. The lawsuit was filed in Fairfield County Common Pleas Court. Good. Again, restrictions on a 30-round magazine when you can have more than one magazine, but Governor DeWine and John Husted, who again have no really care at all about the United States Constitution or the Ohio Constitution, they just care about what they can do publicly to make themselves look better. Governor DeWine's a piece of fucking shit. His wife is a dirty fucking whore, and their daughter Becky she's still not doing too good. But yeah, let's do it. Have no common sense for our gun laws because it's the Second Amendment. So Governor DeWine, when's the last time you actually read the Constitution in like a really educated way? And you're the governor, big guy. Tell the answer is never. So you don't actively read and write because you're an illiterate piece of fucking shit. And then you're like, oh, I don't think we should legalize cannabis. Well, you're killing kids, Michael. And you're just too immature and too insulated and too privileged to ever take responsibility for your actions. Child killer, Mike DeWine is a child killer. And he doesn't support basic common sense gun laws, so I'm glad that the city of Columbus threw that out or blocked the restriction. Jeremy Renner broke 30 bones in the snowplow accident. Accident is accidental, incident can be intentional. Tyree Nichols, 29 male, from Memphis man, dead at the hands of police. Body camera footage to be released, I think relatively soon. 5 officers already fired. All people involved are black. So again, black, blue, or white, it's definitely the blue team. And more importantly than that, it's the insecure team. It's the shared insecurity of any group is how the people of the individuals, each individual will behave 100% of the time. And so that should be good, but just cops beating a man to death. Again, there were like 2 interactions or something. Have to see the whole interaction. I'm sure more will fall out from this. They've already fired a bunch of people. Prime Hydration has annual sales of $250 million fucking dollars. Go to zero. Go to fucking zero. My goal in life is to put every YouTuber out there that is aware of my work to fucking zero. That's what happens when you get popular. You can have $250 million of revenue selling a hydration drink. Review the drinks, I like them. But again, this is what popularity does, and you can start a business. As opposed to me going to a bar and restaurant and can't clear a return at all. Because I can't market it properly because my credentials and my reputation have been fucking destroyed. Defamed and slandered and libeled until the point where I can't eat and sleep properly. So Logan Paul, man, I hope you have an accident. I hope you have a fucking accident. I hope your life fucking ends. If I don't deserve to eat, you do not deserve to breathe. And because you're popular and you won't open your fucking mouth and do the right thing, and you're on there with your Christian co-hosts, George Janko and Mike Malak, you guys are going to zero and you have an enemy in me for real. Fuck you and fuck your families. 10 killed, but he said, done raising my voice, and if you were a child killer or you're supporting child killers, my absolute unequivocal statement of judgment is you should face capital punishment. We just don't live in a practical, realistic society where there's justice. No justicia para nadie. Steven Crowder denies a $50 million 2-year contract with the Daily Wire, plus a $25 million 2-year extension. Ben Shapiro is sad his boyfriend Jeremy Bourne got offended. You can be a popular YouTuber and get an offer of $50 million, $25 million a year contract for a media company. I run a media company. This is my news station. This is my current event show. This is my current events and talking points. $250 million for Prime Hydration. Oh, this one dude gets offered $50 million just to talk, and he's just a science denier. These are all just science deniers, and they're just children playing games in the context of career, and they're killing children. I watched Ben Shapiro be like flustered, his boyfriend, or Jeremy Bourne, was like, this was such a good offer. It was such a good offer, it's basketball money. And again, just to know that these people are really the fucking dweebs from high school. And again, I lived in a time in high school where it wasn't really cliquey. It really wasn't. At least not my high school wasn't at all.
These are the fucking dudes. Again, there's always a sentiment. Everyone wants to have value. Everyone wants to produce. Everyone wants to tell a good story. Everyone wants to be productive. And so all these little fucking dweeby cunts like Ben Shapiro get popular. Now they're like the business people, and they're just still little dweeby fucking cunts. But a media company can make $50 million for a single person just for talking about the news. If you speak well, if you have original opinions, and you're authentic, well, then you can get popular. Well, unless you're too original, too authentic, and too real, then they just kick you the fuck out of society so they can continue to murder kids. And everyone in the YouTube game, if I've ever heard of you from YouTube, again, this is my 5th year again, I want the data of how many times I actually scroll my activity logs on all of this shit, because it's criminal. Okay, it's actual part data for evidence of how many times of emotional damages. Put yourself out into the world and you get nothing back. It is torture. And that's how anybody forms an identity. That's how anyone has a group. You know, you see a group of girls that you like, and you're like, oh, I'm a little nervous. You go ask one of them out, and they say yes. You're like, wow, there's somebody else wants me. Somebody else can care about me. Somebody else thinks about me as an individual. I've never had that. Girlfriends, parents, friends, colleagues, guidance counselors, teachers, business partners, people that owe me money personally, people that I've given money to, people that I employ. But if you're in the YouTube game, you are going to zero, and I'm going to sue you. Anyone in your first direct family gets a piece of paper from a college or from a state that says you are licensed to do something, theft of intellectual property, plagiarism, I want your license, I want you at zero, and I want you as ostracized as me. Everyone in your first direct family. First cousins, parents, cousins, kids. Next. George Santos was a drag queen and has gone by different names, 34 male. This motherfucker needs to go to fucking prison, needs to get out of society completely and entirely. This is the pinnacle of everything that's trash about American politics. George Santos, fuck your life. He went by Anthony DeVolder, a combination of his middle name and his mother's maiden name, and he's been seen playing drag queen or partying in drag for 3 years. Don't give a fuck what you dress up like, cross-dressing, even if you're not trans, drag, don't give a shit. Politicians that actively lying, documented to actively lie and still get sworn in, throw that shit away, it's fraudulent. The whole thing is just fraudulent. FBI warns of neo-Nazi plots as attacks on FBI warns of neo-Nazi plots of attacks on Northwest power grids. Dramatic, traumatic. Again, I've been neglected to the point of torture my entire life. It is not traumatic. I'm more mature than you. I know exactly what's going on. And you say, oh my gosh, he said this, he's got to be sad. I'm not. I'm objectively not sad. Once you burn all of my emotions, when I'm 7 years old, learning my parents can't love me, my teachers won't teach me, my guidance counselor will torture me and neglect me and ruin all of my educational prospects. And in the business world, every opportunity I work for will be stolen from me. My constitutional rights will be violated every single day. I'm not sad. People need to be punished for the criminal activity they've done. But again, we're going to shoot up the power grid to who knows what the thought is there. But we're just gonna go resort to primitive behavior and destroy things. Chaos, just break shit. Beyonce, 41 female, has been paid $24 million for a one-time concert celebrating the opening of Atlantis the Royal, a 19-song set for about 1,500 guests. Prime Hydration doing $250 million a year. Steven Crowder getting offered $50 million for 2 years. Beyonce's getting paid $24 million for an hour. Probably not longer than an hour, but one concert. I don't give a fuck about the politics. I will go anywhere to make money. I will do anything to fucking make money. There's no values in this society. The popular culture kickback is like, she's pro-LGBT, but then she'll go to, I don't know if this is Qatar or I don't know where the fuck this is. Probably Dubai. I think this was Dubai. But, and they're anti-LGBT, whatever. What do you do? Again, virtue signaling from all the trashy fucking pieces of shit ever. I hate Beyonce personally because I'm a musician. I'm the fucking singer. You're just a dumb bitch. Your husband Jay-Z is a fucking coward. You're not musicians, you're not producers, you're just fucking thieves. Let's sing. Loser fucking commits suicide. I am not promoting self-harm. I am tired of thieves stealing my property and I cannot defend it. And they get paid $24 million for one fucking concert. My parents are over here lying about their fucking income or their financial status as a way to manipulate me financially. People lie to me to the point where it affects my life, and then they steal from me, and then they say, not my fucking problem. So fuck you, Beyonce. I don't give a fucking shit about being pro-LGBT or anti-LGBT. You can pay $24 million for a single concert and you steal from me. I hope none of your stupid fucking kids ever want a fucking college degree. Again, not that it means anything. Not that your privileged ass children won't do anything with their lives. But you steal from me, you have an enemy in for life. It's not in a gang. It's not a bitch. I don't need a bunch of fucking losers to hype me up to go fucking settle business of someone that fucking owes me something. I watched Jordan Peterson, number 325, with Victor Davis Hanson. But that was just talking about just the school system kind of and some more broken philosophy. Jordan Peterson cannot open his mouth up just rattling off words how it's not fucking possible. But again, there's no national accreditation uniform standards. It is state-sponsored fraud. Just give people licensures and they don't have demonstrable skill sets. But hey, Brad is the scapegoat for an entire species of people and everybody else is killing children and nobody gives a fucking shit. So I caught another clip of David Prager or Dennis Prager from PragerU. You know, is that QAnon? Not really sure exactly, but I've seen Dennis Prager before on Jordan Peterson's weird roundtable for Exodus. When again, I've already read every thought in the historical account called the Holy Bible, the whole Torah already done. So I don't know what there's to talk about. Oh, that's our original lie about history and steal from Brad and go start couriers about it. We always do. We rob Brad of every opportunity he has ever worked for. We blame him for it. We denigrate him, and then we go right back to being privileged entitled animals coming in blame games. That's what we've always done. But Dennis Prager says there was 300,000 slaves in the transatlantic slave trade. Every reputable source I've read has been about pretty much 12 to 15 million, somewhere between 10 to 15 million. And so slave, I don't know where you get the 300,000 number, but I've read a lot about that. The number I always read is 10 to 15 million. So I'm not sure where Dennis Prager is getting that. If he's got some secret document, almost certainly not. It's probably just, again, another complete fucking idiot trying to have relevance. And then there was about 120 to 150 million trans-Saharan slave trade. And admittedly, the trans-Saharan, historically, from what I've read, again, obviously it was not there for either, but the trans-Saharan was less brutal than the transatlantic, but in sheer numbers. Again, slavery and indentured servitude, maidservants, manservants, has been every group of people that has ever had any sort of relevance ever. Anybody. Right? Human behavior, there's one sentiment of the human species. If there's one group of people with slaves, a lot of other groups probably have slaves around them in the historical account. Referencing the Bible again, where it's like the first kind of story thing written down. Certain they're talking about the abominations. And then for all you strict today age Ben Shapiro, Michael Knowles, you guys want to be conservatives and shit, talk about the conservative values, and they're like they're against homosexual marriage. Well, frankly, in the Torah, there's no direct ritual for marriage whatsoever. And so typically that probably come from common law way before. In terms of just the ritual, there's pretty much no reference to marriage. It just says, a man lying with a man is an abomination. But so is, again, I forget the actual ones, but there's a lot of abominations. It's all equally abominable. And so it's like, dating an ex. Like if you divorce your husband and then go back and get a new husband and divorce him, you can't go back to the old one. That's the same level of abomination. So it's just like human values that just are 3,500 years old. My God. But what was I saying about the slave trade or just the Dennis Prager? Just these people that don't know anything and then they want to have relevance. I watched PBD and Brian Callen's up there again. They're like, oh my gosh, you referenced Socrates, French, and something else all within 10 minutes. It's like, you guys aren't historians. Like, you're just not. You're fucking not. I am history and the historian. And you guys just learn about me directly and generally, and then just project your personality through my personality generally. Literally, that's what's occurring. It's provable in any small group of people. Put me in a group of 10 people, and this will occur. As I'm sitting there, they'll start doing this shit in front of me. And it's been, again, hundreds of thousands of times. It's the only way anybody's ever treated me. But, God goodness, when does this stop? I don't think I'm going to be tortured until I'm dead because people will not enforce the Constitution. And every time I'm being tortured, people with the emotional capacity of being happy or sad thing, I'm like threatening or I'm just like, come on, guys. Again, it was funny when I went to that freak show shithole, they were like, do you feel a normal range of human emotions? Yes, being tortured, the human emotion is, holy fuck, get me the fuck out if you have to survive and not die. But then if all your credentials and all things are fraudulently restricted, they're going to think that you're just crazy. Oh my gosh, I hope you're thinking straight, Mom. It's like, I hope you're thinking straight. You abused a child, you neglected a child's educational needs to the point where you continue to blame him for your emotional state 22 straight fucking years. But that's what I deserve. I deserve to be denigrated and disrespected until I'm dead, while everybody else gets the most privileged handout fucking lives ever, and the instant they get offended, they continue to scapegoat me. Most scholars believe the final version of the Torah was written down in 539 BCE during the Babylonian exile. It's originally written in Hebrew. You can also have references to the Tanakh, which was, I think, the same exact book, but was written in Hebrew and Greek. No one knows the exact dates and authors. Again, that's the historical context I'm trying to read when I'm reading through there. Again, just literally, because I can notice when different words come into play, which I forget which one I referenced yesterday, but when just different lexicons, just different words, you can tell it's a different author. So I try to provide any historical context I can. I commented in that series what I could. Again, I commented I could go off the top of my head, but it's much more poignant just to go watch that series. But probably about 3500 BCE, and again, both Moses, the Genesis, not exactly sure. I think Genesis was probably still written pretty close to Moses' time. And maybe some writings or maybe some history from Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, but most of the Torah was really written, or at least written down, as opposed to just oral tradition during Moses' time, Moshe. But when was that? I'm guessing 3500 BCE-ish. Don't really know either. But providing any historical context I can, if you want to watch that, go watch that lecture series. But I looked up, again, it's the geography, again, I hope you know something about northern Egypt into the Middle East, but it's about 5,270 miles from Egypt to Canaan. So I don't know, how realistic is it to walk? 10 miles a day has to be like the most understated thing ever, the easiest walking pace ever. 10 miles a day has to be absolutely easy. So 10 miles a day, that would be 527 days, so that's under 2 years. So again, when they're stuck in the desert for 40 years, it's not because of distance. It's not because of long journeys, because they couldn't pass this group. They couldn't beat the Hittites or something. So 5,270 miles is from Egypt to Canaan is not going to take you anywhere close to 40 fucking years. So why? Again, I take this as an extremely literal history book with some rituals and traditions in there. Again, they have to slide on the ops. The group's not big enough. They're not organized enough. But that was a quick history lesson for today. ChatGPT passes MBA exam given by a Wharton professor. Still not have used this thing, but I guarantee I can break it in 2 seconds. Guarantee I can. I'll pull it up next time. I literally have not done it. It doesn't matter if I do it the first time recorded, but and with sensorality. It's clearly defined things. Speciality is natural antagonism or differentiation for sexual antagonism. Differentiate. So I'm going to ask them words that are well defined that are literally not on the internet and see what ChatGPT can come up with there. But I read some of the comments and it was like people who have used it in college or whatever. It's like it still gets like bona fide facts wrong some of the times. So it just scrolls, compiles sentences and phrases from the internet. But if it's not on the internet, I'm not sure where it's going to pull the data from. So I'm going to be asking ChatGPT what's sensorality. There's two direct linguistic uses of the same sound. So I'm sure ChatGPT is going to pass that one. Matt Walsh tweets about Singapore. This was a fun one. Matt Walsh, Jeremy Knowles, Jeremy Boring, Michael Knowles, Jeremy Boring, Matt Walsh, and Ben Shapiro are all going to fucking prison. They are criminals, they are stealing from me, they're lying about history, they have an avenue to disseminate science, they refuse to, they are killing children. But Matt Walsh tweets, Singapore is able to have nice things in part because they execute drug dealers by hanging and arrest even petty vandals and thieves and beat them with a cane until they bleed. We don't have nice things because we aren't willing to do what is required to maintain them. Matt Walsh, be careful what you say. Because I think all liars and thieves at this level should fucking die. Not because what you've done to me, but what you've done to the entirety of the species as a judge. You guys are killing children. So if you think nice things, define nice things. A bigger house, more shopping malls. I want a family. I want love. I want happiness. I want joy. I want respect. So nice things, again, maybe mature a little bit, Matt Walsh, and not give too much about materialistic things. Again, as the most writhing capitalist ever, I want every penny that I've ever fucking earned. But they hang drug dealers. Well, if I was a drug dealer, they'd have hanged me, and you guys would have fundamental science for, again, probably thousands of years. Like, you get the fundamentals of physics, but, like, proofing at this level, anomalistic. Truly fucking anomalistic. So, yeah, if you hung drug dealers, you would have hung me. And then you would still be, you'd still be stealing, lying, cheating, and stealing, and killing kids. So really want to change Matt Walsh's worthless life much. But be careful what you say, Matt Walsh, because I think all liars and thieves at this level should face capital punishment. I don't think they should. That's common law. That's what they should face. And you steal from me, Matt Walsh, and you refuse to disseminate scientific information that kills children. So see your profile picture is talking with an African. Ask him what is a woman. Ask him what matters. Food and health or podcasting. and you're limiting food and health for a tribe because, well, you're afraid to go to jail? Ben Shapiro was a Jew and a Hebrew, but so I don't know what Matt Walsh is in anything, and I just whatever you identify as, that's what I'm gonna wreck you for. I'm a grown man that knows how to behave, and I'm educated, so past that, I don't know what the fuck these children are doing. But yeah, vandals and thieves, beat them with a cane until they bleed. I'd love to, Matt. I'd absolutely love to beat you until you bleed. Not a statement of violence. You were stealing from me. Please stop committing crimes. I do not have access to court. Or what do you think criminals do in those scenarios? But just hypocrites, just project your shit out into the world and say, but yeah, Singapore's a shithole. Singapore's not allowed to steal from me. They beat liars and thieves. Singapore, you're disseminating my information to any capacity whatsoever. Hypocrites and child killers. Good stuff, guys. Facebook and Instagram told to overhaul ban on female nipples. Free the titties. I like titties. I'm not opposed to that. As someone who doesn't like too many sex scenes in crime shows, as a straight male, but I want to see, again, I'm not on Instagram or Facebook, but I just want to see, I just have like a filter, maybe not like a filter, but just like a tab or something where it's like, because if it like degraded with just all titties or all I don't think they're talking about full nude or like porn, but it was just tits. Even that, again, I would rather just, if I was like a 30-year-old man that had like a kid or something, like, if I was a user of Instagram, I wouldn't want it to be porn-centric. I would get, as someone, you could put anything on anyone that isn't inciting violence, and again, not because I'm against violence, because I'll put you in jail. It's just like, you can't live, you can't experience normal human emotions because people don't, there's just hypocrisy fucking everywhere. But as a user, I would not want Instagram or Facebook to be overloaded with just titty pics. If I just want to scroll through and see some dogs or cats or my friends that I don't have or a family that I don't have. But so for actual functionality, I wouldn't want it to be overrun with nipples. I would absolutely allow nipples. I would allow full nudity. But I would just again have some sort of like tab or something where it's like you can hide, again, non-suitable for work or something, where you just hide that from your feed if you don't want to look at it. If it overloaded the posts. But we have the Oscar 2023 nominations to be announced before the awards ceremony in March. And obviously I don't call myself a movie buff, but I definitely watch a lot of movies. Oscar 2023 nominations. So again, more privileged people to the people of the future. These people literally just go from talk show to award ceremony to being a spokesperson for some shitty product that doesn't work. But the nominations, we have Best Actor. The Whale, did not see that one. Elvis, did not see that one, would like to see that one. The Banshees of Inisherin, never heard of it. Living After Sun. International Feature Film, didn't see any of those. Best Actress, don't even recognize any of the movies. Everything Everywhere All at Once, I skipped that one because it just seemed like another multiverse plot of nothing. Best Animated Film, just seeing if I know any of these things. For watching movies all the time, I don't seem to recognize a lot of these. Documentary, Supporting Actress, Wakanda Forever, like that one. Everything All at Once is getting a lot of nominations. Might have to check that movie out. Best Director, Fablemans. Not really recognizing a lot of these movies. What is this? Best Adapted Screenplay, Maverick, Top Gun. That was the highest rated movie I've watched recently, the past several years. Glass Onion, I saw that having some something, like some cultural buzz or something. Didn't see it. Elvis, again, that was the one I wanted to see. I think that's a Avatar Way of the Water, like that one. But yeah, it seems to be pretty redundant after that. So those are there. Again, at this point, I'm so sick of celebrity culture. When again, I just want to be owed $30,000 a year. And how much money do they spend on their private jets to get to these fucking war ceremonies? And it's not me being jealous. I want what I have earned. It is right here. Here's my legal obligation for somebody to do something. This is year 7. Literally year 7. I have been neglected, abused, tortured my entire fucking life. I have never made my own identity. I have never felt safe. And I don't feel threatened. I don't feel financially stable. If you don't feel financially stable, you can't feel safe. And most people, when they don't feel financially stable, again, they have to save up. They have 6 months of savings. I have 5 years. Again, after managing an open market trade for 7 years under the most profound economic duress ever. And everybody else just gets to fly around and play games and lie, cheat, and steal Lie, cheat, and steal. Lie, cheat, and steal. And they called me a threat and then blamed me and sick your stupid fucking dogs on me. Got another Tinder match. 24 female. Her name was Jordan. Looked pretty cute. Said, hey, exclamation mark, how has your day been? No response. After 48 hours, she was more my age, so I gave her 48 hours, no response, unmatched. So I've now had 2 Tinder matches in probably about 9 months. Not a single response back, certainly not a meaningful conversation, certainly not a date, certainly not a girlfriend, certainly not a sexual relationship, certainly not an ongoing sexual relationship, certainly not a fiance, certainly not a wife, certainly not a family. Oh, that will be in my 13th millionth lifetime, after everyone at all of the awards ceremonies at the Oscars raises their kids to behave more than fucking children that are just fucking horny monkeys that play games and come. So, yeah, working through, I actually really do like reading out loud. Again, there's nothing special about it's the first history book, kind of. Right, Roto Dos was kind of like the first history book, but this is like the first history book more so. But there's nothing special. Again, there's nothing unique. So like reading out loud, about done with Power Season 5. Do that review of that tomorrow. Still working on stuff, I don't know. Trying my best to start a career again as my mom breathes down my neck. I'm going to violate a business agreement, I'm going to violate a business agreement, I'm going to violate a business agreement. When I've literally sued OSU in 2018, it was dismissed illegally. So it's like I really don't have access to court. So it's like I'm hoping if I have to force to sue my parents, at least the state will throw that lawsuit away. But Mike DeWine, Andrew Ginther, Lane Bryant, James Gilbert, Deputy Robbins, I don't give a fuck if you get fired from the police force. If you threaten me in my house, you need to get the fuck out of this society. So everybody referenced in this series needs to get the fuck out. They need to be ostracized to the point that I am ostracized today. I'm calling for equality, and I'm settling for nothing less. Thank you for watching Language, Litigation, and Integration Part 177. Who wants dim sum? Them old Asians want dim sum. So, see you in the next one.